Oh, it is everybody's favorite Saluki now here in the summer. Our Summer Access Series continues here in 2025. I mean, I could say his title, Director of Basketball Operations, but everybody knows he does a little bit of everything. And I guess goes by the pickle from time to time. Justin Endsley joins us. Mike Purcell. We know you enjoyed that. Give Mike a shout out as he's learned this in our interviews. Justin, you are a busy man during the course of the summer, so how are you surviving the summer access period?
Yeah, well, first off, Luke, great to sit back down here with you and talk today. Remember last year when we had a conversation, and always enjoy doing this with you. So, first off, glad to be here with you. But to answer your question of how the summer's been, really busy, but a really fun summer. Really have enjoyed getting to know this group. Great group of guys, both on the court and off the court, and it's been really refreshing this year to have this group together for heck 6.5 weeks now. It's hard to believe that we're already halfway through the summer and getting ready to head into August here.
Not that, again, you do have a different role than most of the assistants, but you have your hand in literally everything within the program. And I say that because I've asked a lot of the assistants this summer, now that you've had a year underneath your belt with Coach Nagy, like how much, hate to use the term easier, but just you know and what to expect from him from a basketball standpoint.
Yeah.
You return everybody on staff. How much has that helped you in knowing from travel for recruiting to other? I mean, there's a list of other things that you do that we don't have time to get to that has made it like you're still asking questions and you're getting information, but man, it's got to be, I don't want to speak for you, but it's got to be a night and day difference from last year to this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, last year at this time, everyone was still getting used to Carbondale, getting used to this place. Heck, I mean, I had coaches ask me where Kroger was. So take out the off-the-court stuff, everyone moving here. After being here a year now, like, the staff continuity is so much better, and I think that's so important because through that we have trusted each other as a staff. Everyone kind of knows their role and knows when to chime in, when not to. So that part has been really, really good. And I think it's big for us as well that we have gained the players' trust because last year everyone was new. Coach Gibbs was the only one that knew Coach Nagy and had worked with him. And then you had 14 new players and then 6 other staff members who were all new. So there were a lot of questions. We were kind of running around like chickens with our head cut off, trying to figure everything out. But this summer has been night and day different. And I think we're so far ahead at this point this year compared to this time last year.
If fans had the opportunity to just walk by the office, I guarantee you they would see you even at all hours, not just during the course of the season, but here in the summer. How do you try to prioritize your time, not just in terms of, hey, I need to get X, Y, and Z done, but also taking some time for yourself as well because these schedules can be really demanding?
Yeah, no, obviously the summer is a really busy time for someone in my role. I always tell people probably the summer and spring months are some of my busiest months that I have. Obviously the summer or spring leading into summer is a bunch of recruiting visits, and then once you get into summer, not only workouts, but then you have coaches going out to the different live periods that they can go to. So I'm responsible for getting them to point A to point B to C, D, back to point A. So obviously this past weekend was a big one. They were all out east, and then we got another one coming up here this weekend as well. So prioritizing that and then everything, getting ready for season, making sure the guys are okay, and keeping them in line as well.
It's about getting ready for the season. Yes, the schedule is still obviously being put intact, but it's more of, and we talked about that process a year ago with you, but more of to try to give our fans an angle of what it's like to be in your role. Look, schedule still being finalized, all those things, but of how many different scenarios you really have to go through of how much of your summer is consumed of looking at what the schedule could be, what it kind of is. When you're going on the road, how many of those things you try to get totally locked down now versus making yourself aware? Like, walk us through what that process is like during the summer.
Yeah, scheduling, I've gotten pretty involved with it with Coach Gibbs this year. Him and I kind of tag team it a little bit. Scheduling's tough. There are so many different things that go into account when putting your game schedule together. That probably a lot of people don't realize. Here in the Valley, we have certain Missouri Valley Conference requirements we have to meet. We obviously want to keep Coach happy. We need to keep our department happy. So it's finding that fine balance of what games could ultimately benefit us in the long run And obviously, in this league, there hasn't been an at-large team in a very long time. So we're trying to figure out ways to have a chance at that. Is that trying to get as many home games as you can, or is it better to go on the road and play some top 50 net teams? And if you knock one of them off, does that benefit you more than playing some home games and beating a team by 30 points? So it's just finding that fine balance. But every day you have random numbers texting or calling you, trying to figure it out. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I think the hardest thing for us here at Southern Illinois is getting teams to come to Carbondale. Obviously, travel here is very difficult for anyone who needs to fly here. St. Louis is the closest option for them, and they still have a 2-hour bus ride staring them down. So that's where unlike some other Valley schools that have major airports right in their backyard, we don't have that. So it makes it difficult for us to get teams here. But to give some fans a little bit of preview into our schedule here. Obviously, I know stuff has gone out from some different Twitter accounts or whatnot, but we still need to get one more home game here, and then we're working on getting our MT finalized. But in terms of home games, we've got 2 lined up right now. We've got our non-1 against McKendree, which will be opening night on November 3rd, and then we've got UMKC here on Friday, November 7th. In terms of road games, we've got 5 of them this year. We're at Nevada on November 12th, at Memphis November 26th, at High Point December 3rd, at Richmond December 13th. We have to return to North Dakota State on November 17th. So we're getting close. We want to have this finalized here in the next couple weeks. But like I said, we're getting there. It's just there's so many different factors that go into it nowadays.
You just really love to make me go to the Dakotas twice a year, right? Last year,
South Dakota
twice for football, and then go a third time with men's basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that Coach Hill and the football team were already going to be in Fargo, so
been pretty cool if we could have if they would have been playing in November and tried to tag team, have a Saluki weekend up there. That would have been pretty cool if we could have got that done.
That would have been really neat.
Yeah.
So if only the schedule would cooperate.
I know.
One of the things that you were talking about, if you get random phone calls pretty frequently, you probably can't silence unknown callers on your phone, can you?
No. No, because no matter – it could be another coach from a different number who they might be out on the road and something happens. So, I'm on my phone 24/7. I always have my phone in my pocket. I got my Apple Watch too. So my phone rings at all hours of the day. It's part of the job. It keeps me young and keeps me on my toes.
Again, you are – along with Riley, longest tenure people who have been around this program that really touch this program on a daily basis. With that is not just the experience level, but there is a lot of pride level as well. Not that you look at it from that standpoint, but when you do walk around and know that, hey, like there's a lot of experience that you have been able to earn throughout your time here of how much that's really on your mind and how much you think of that, especially with how many times now you've been around Saluki basketball.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe I'm going into year 3 full-time here and really year 7 overall after spending 4 years as a student manager. But every day when I walk into this place, I just reminded how special this place is and how lucky I am to be here and how fortunate I am that Coach Nagy was able to retain me here on staff once the coaching change occurred. It's been great working for him, but going back to your point, this place is just special. It feels like home to me. There's so many great people within our program and everyone within athletics here that are supporting men's basketball, so you just feel love from every direction.
And I'm sure our fans know that are watching, but in case they don't know, if you ever really want to know what a culture is like within a team and what guys are really like when the lights are not on, go to the Dobo. So if you ever really want to know what a group is like, find a Justin Endsley on a staff because you have to work with the guys in so many different ways outside of just scheduling in terms of when you're coming in for practice, from food orders to travel to classes to, I mean, the list goes on and on. I say all of that because you've been around this group now. How would you describe them in terms of people that you interact with day to day?
It's a great group of people. Like, truly, I have enjoyed every day this summer so far. Ever since we got these guys on campus at the end of May, early June, like, every day to walk into this gym is, like, refreshing. The guys have great energy, which compared to this last year, we weren't there yet. And I think there were so many different factors last year. Like, not that it was a bad team or anything like that. Just everyone was new. No one knew what to expect. But with our 6 returners that we kept this year, they've embodied that culture. And Coach Nagy uses the word culture so many times, like that is what he wants in place first, and then the rest will work itself out. But the way that these guys have bonded together, you see them laughing every day. I'm laughing with them. Like I don't know if there's ever been a frown in this gym during the summer so far.
I will say this too, as look, this guy's very lovable, and he puts that impression on. But like, can you get off my guy, Davion Sykes? I mean,
Davion's my guy, man.
I
love
wish
Sykes.
all of you could really see how strict and to the point this guy can be.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I love Davion, and I love everyone this year so far. Like I said, it's been a great group, and I'm sure you've gotten some video of it, but every day I pick a guy that I'm going to pick on and race them in warm-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have. Some of them I beat.
You beat Jalen Haynes one of the two sprints.
Yeah, I think I got Kelleron
he didn't take you
maybe.
seriously. He didn't take you seriously on
no.
one of them.
But no, like, and I've said this before in previous interviews, like, I know I'm not an active coach. I know I'm not that. And I don't really have aspirations to become an assistant coach or anything like that, but I love what I do. And the biggest thing I try to pride myself on is bringing energy into this gym each day and kind of being a brother, whatever you want to call it, someone that these guys can count on each day. And if it's challenging them into a race to get them going or talking to them after practice, like, that's what brings me so much joy in what I do, along with everything else. But like I said, it's just a great group of guys, plus our staff as well.
Another guy that you've been able to get to know during your time here is someone that, is not here every day because of where he lives, but Rodney Watson, of course, who is our good friend with Saluki Radio, just recently got inducted into the SIU Hall of Fame. I think number one he talks to the most is probably Carol, and probably number two is tied with you and me.
Yeah.
So what it mean to be able to call him and say congratulations on him being able to
that
get
meant
to
the world to me. First off, I started it by no agenda. That's how RW always wants to start a phone call. No agenda for you, just calling to check in. But no, I've gotten to know Rodney over the past several years, and Rodney's kind of been one of those people that I've grown to trust. Him and I have a lot of serious conversations. He helps me when I have a situation or problem come up, but for him to finally get recognized here, and he's so much deserving of that.
And, of course, Jeff Bidwell, good friend at Murray State, had Rodney on his show, Maury in the Valley. Interview was over an hour. Shocker.
Not a surprise. That guy can talk, but
he can talk. And Jeff, all I said to him was, "Welcome to my world." Editing the podcast throughout the year.
No, our double call at the most random times, but no, like, when you're talking to him, what you're talking about is very genuine. So.
Absolutely. Let's get back to this team and kind of looking towards the rest of the summer. How you structure these next couple of weeks with the coaches and how you set it up, and then kind of game plan it for our fans. Tell them how much time will our guys get once the summer has ended, when they get back. And I know there's kind of that first official date of in-season practice, but, man, you guys already are basically in season now.
Yeah, no, I mean, getting 4 hours with them on the court and then 4 in the weight room during the summer is huge, because you can be so far ahead compared. Obviously, this was before my time when I got into coaching and stuff like that, but I know Coach Nagy has shared stories where you really only get about 30 days. Back in the day, you used to only get about 30 days with them, so you're trying to cram everything in. But having this summer access period is huge. We're able to put different plays in, working on our offense, defense, stuff like that. So that part's been huge. So like I said, we're here in the middle of July. We got 2 full weeks left. Guys will get to go home August 1st, and then they'll get 2 weeks at home and then have to come back when school starts on the 18th, I believe, that Monday. And then it'll be here. I want to say official practice. I can't remember the exact date. It's either September 22nd or 23rd is that first official practice when we can get 20 hours a week with them. So it's huge for these next couple weeks to keep honing down our details on everything and keeping these guys in shape. And obviously once they go home, you want them to go home, enjoy their time with family, friends, whatever, but also they need to maintain everything that they've had here these past 8 weeks.
And hopefully you have better travel to Vegas.
Yeah, rough travel to Vegas over the 4th. Landed in the middle of the desert, but hey, I'm not very good on travel for personal trips. Last couple have been really rough, but hopefully once we get into season there, that bad juju does not continue, or else life will not be fun.
Yes, and if so, you know who we blame. It's you.
Yeah, that's part of it. It comes with it. I'll hear it from everyone, but.
Last thing before I let you go, because you're a busy guy. This is
Yeah.
a rarity where you could be in one place and have you for this long.
My phone's. I've already felt my watch go twice, so
sure.
so the phone's already been ringing.
The phone's already been ringing. You should have left the ringer on just so we could
Yeah.
prove that point. You talked so much about the program, and in your time here, Justin, in your 7+ years now that you've been associated with the program, you've been able to get a lot of the supporters, and you really touched up on them. I know. We've had a lot of name drops, I feel like, throughout this interview, but, Wes Wilkins comes to mind, and so many others who have done a ton for the program behind the scenes that doesn't necessarily get their name attached to it. How much do you lean on those supporters throughout? Not necessarily you look for them to help you out in your role, but just lean on them because they're diehard Salukis, and I know they would help you and the program out whenever they.
Oh,
whenever
yeah,
they
no, I mean, Wes and I have gotten to know each other extremely well, along with several other people. And those people are huge because they're always going to support you no matter what. It might be a phone call to them saying, hey, like, I'm having a bad day, I need picked up, or hey, I've got this scenario. What, like, as a season ticket holder, donor, fan, what are your thoughts on that? So, like, that really helps me whatever I'm figuring out to get advice like that, and people that I trust. Like, those people are crucial. And it's really been good for me to get to know a lot of fans here. It's really special.
Justin, you're a special guy too. We appreciate the time you able to put the phone on mute, and now you got to put do not disturb.
Yeah.
You got to switch that back. You got to switch that.
Yeah.
on.
No. One thing before we go here, like I said, I've already said it a little bit, but I'm really excited for this season. Like I said, this summer's been super refreshing. There's a lot to be excited for. It's been pretty amazing to see how this group has clicked within such a short amount of time. I think as a staff, we've done a great job getting the type of players that Coach Nagy wants, that he preaches on. And we'll obviously get the basketball stuff worked out, but I think the most important thing, especially starting the summer off, having that culture already in place, and you can tell right away that part is there, and that's going to help us out tremendously as we get into non-conference play and then ultimately conference play and into St. Louis.
I'll tell you what, the most uplifting thing today, Izzy Hoystad has a good dribble.
She
got
does.
a good handle.
She does,
Yeah.
and we were playing. I don't know if you can see it, but the dummy over there, she was showing me how it wiggles once it comes back up. So, but no, and one other thing, like I said, there's so many important people to me, and I've just got to give a quick shout out to Riley Hoystad and obviously Taylor and Izzy. Those people have been super close to me. Have hold a special place in my heart. Riley and I have bonded super close, and we joke with each other, love each other. So, like I said, without Riley, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, and owe a lot to Connor Wheeler, who's a Southern Illinois boy.
Yeah.
Obviously was at DuQuoin and Carbondale, and his dad's was down at Cobden, but that's why I'm at where I'm at today, is because Connor took a chance on me and believed in me. So
you got to get back to Coach Nagy. He's
Yeah.
probably calling you.
Yeah.
So I think we need to wrap this
Yep.
up. But Justin, appreciate you,
thanks.
brother.
Appreciate it as always, Luke. Thanks
Justin
for everything you
Endsley,
do.
the man around here. And you know what? We only said the pickle one time.
I got so many nicknames. I can't keep them straight. I got J-Mac, Justo,
Yeah.
Pickle,
J-Mac
I don't
closeouts,
know.
They're all over the place. Just know they're all pointed to this guy.
Yeah.
Be sure to stay with us here in the summer of 2025 for our summer access coverage of Saluki basketball.
Go Dogs, baby.